Hey everyone, it's Sarah Spiker here, and I am so thrilled to share with you an experience that happened this morning for my 6-year-old, and I am certain that if she can do it, so can you when it comes to power manifesting. So, a little backstory to make a better sense of what exactly happened and how it happened. So usually when I drive, especially when I'm on my own, I listen to audio in the car about personal development, about consciousness, manifesting, all the good stuff. So today my 6-year-old came on the ride with me as we were dropping off a 4-year-old in a daycare. And on the way back, I said to her, listen, this is my routine and I invite you to join me. Would you care for listening for some money consciousness audio? And she goes, money what? I was like, it's okay, let's just listen. It's about 5 minutes and then we'll talk about what you heard. So the audio starts and the first few sentences in, she interrupts and she goes, Mommy, what's abundance? I was like, well, we'll talk about it in just a little bit. So the audio plays through and I said to her at the end, so what did you learn? She says, I have no idea what I just heard. I love the energy of it. And I know what manifesting is. And I was like, yay! That's a good start. So we had a conversation about what abundance and flow and ease are and how we really have the power to intentionally create whatever it is that we desire when we do remove the subconscious blocks to get it. And fast forward a couple of hours, we had a meeting at her school, and then afterwards they had a book fair. And my 6-year-old is an avid reader. I mean, you give her the books and she's the happiest kid on the planet. And the funny thing is that she prepared herself for this book fair. For about a week now, she had a list of the books that she has set an intention of getting without asking me or my husband whether it was something that, hey, we were actually planning on purchasing for her. She's like, I can't wait to get these books. The whole week she was walking around with this list and she's like, I can't wait. I'm so excited. And she was sharing with me what each one of those books was. And I mean, in her own mind, she already had those books. That's how she was excited about those. So we walk into the library, to the book fair. And we walk around and we found the first book, and then she went on to look for the second one. And just the moment she turns around and wants to walk where she finally found the stand where they had that particular book, another parent picked it up and it happened to be the last one. And I could see how her face was just so depleted. And it's like, oh, this is the book that I wanted. And the other parent really felt so bad, and she's like, oh, this is also what my son wanted, and I'm so sorry I got it here first, right? And I was already gearing up to explain to her that, hey, you know, in life sometimes it happens, right? And she's like, Mommy, we gotta ask if they have some extras. Like, okay, so let's go find a person working here and let's ask if they have some extras of those books. Sure enough, the person's looking around and comes back and is like, I'm so sorry, this was the last one, we don't have any more. Her face depleted. I mean, really, really sad, because it was a book about crystals and it had samples of some gemstones, and in her eyes it was like a treasure, right? So then we turn around and we're about to go look for the third book on her list, and she goes, Mommy, I found it. It's here. For some reason, out of nowhere, another extra book appeared on the stand on the totally opposite side of the room. I don't know if somebody put it down or whatever happened. The person who I talked about earlier, who picked the presumably last one, still had hers in her arms. But the point is, there was one more book. My daughter got it and she was the happiest camper in the world. And she goes, Mommy, I totally manifested that. I was like, yes, you did. You did. You just manifested this particular book here. Good job. See how easy it was? And she goes, yeah. Thank you, universe. And to me, that was a sign. I was like, yeah, you know, even though it's not something I would necessarily teach them, like sit them down and explain to them, it's just those small things that they pick up from us as parents, right? It's not do as I say, but do as I do. So it was just a great affirmation and confirmation and experience to witness such innocent mind who has set the intention all these days beforehand that this is the outcome she's going to create for herself without knowing how exactly it's going to happen, even though it seemed that the last book that some other parent had just picked up moments before she got to it was seemingly devastated. Somehow everything turned around, she got hers. I know on a scheme of big things, it seems like, well, it's just a book. Yes, it is just a book, and if it wasn't there, there's always other resources to find it. But the point here is that no matter how big or small, when we set the intention and we operate with that innocence of child's brains almost, nothing can stand in our way either. It's just our minds that are creating all those obstacles and stories and excuses and God knows what else that's preventing us from creating the reality that we want. So I wanted to share this story with you and hopefully remind you, first and foremost, to look around and remind yourself of all these amazing things that you have created and called into your life. Sometimes without even noticing. I do invite you to start noticing those little things. And then secondly, to invite you to be more intentional with where your energy and where your mind goes. A mentor of mine says, the most dangerous thing is leaving your mind unintended. And it's really true, because it is almost like developing a whole new muscle to shift your focus, to shift the perception, to shift the intention from what we're used to by default, right? Especially if you were raised in the lack, scarcity, and the poverty, and when you have to fight and everything was so hard to get, and the consistent victimhood around you. Especially then, it takes even extra time and extra effort and hard work, inner work, to really develop that muscle where you step up in the abundance, right? When you are in the flow, when you are in the expansion, and when you believe that, hey, when I set the intention and it's a pure intention, I cannot detach from the outcome because I know it's coming my way. It's already done. And I know it's already so. The only thing catching up perhaps is the reality. And you have that faith, you have that trust, you have that knowing. It is magic. So if my 6-year-old can do it, so can you.